Hi, it's Dr. Fox, licensed psychologist in the state of Texas, and in this video we're going to talk about BPD and reactive attachment disorder. Now, attachment is a critical component to successful BPD treatment. In this video, we're going to explore reactive attachment disorder and BPD, the presence and overlap of BPD and radical attachment disorder symptoms that make sense based upon common history of those with BPD and how these individuals learn to approach others in relationships. Now, let's do a deep dive into BPD and radical attachment disorder and what you can do about it to help you gain insight into your attachment to others. So please like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into it. Reactive attachment disorder is considered a trauma and stress-related disorder. It is often identified and seen in infancy or early childhood and is characterized by a pattern of noticeably distressed and developmentally inappropriate attachment behaviors in which the child rarely or minimally turns to an attachment figure to comfort, support, protect, and to get nurturance. Now, the essential feature of reactive attachment disorder is an absent or poorly developed attachment between the child and supposed caregiving adults. However, children with reactive attachment disorder are believed to have the capacity to form selective attachments, but due to limited opportunities during early development, they fail to learn and show the behavioral manifestations of selective attachments. For example, when distressed, they show no consistent effort to obtain comfort, support, nurturance, or protection from those caregivers, and they tend to minimally respond to comforting efforts of caregivers. This is why reactive attachment disorder is associated with the absence of expected comfort-seeking and response to comforting behaviors. Children that are diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder show diminished or absent expression of positive emotions during routine interactions with caregivers. They're kind of standoffish, right? And in addition, their emotion regulation capacity tends to be impaired, and they're at a heightened probability to display episodes of negative emotions. And these negative emotions can include fear, sadness, or irritability that are not easily explained, meaning that there aren't clear identifiers or triggers as to what is setting that child or individual off. Now, an important note is that a diagnosis of reactive attachment disorder should not be made in children who are developmentally unable to form selective attachment, such as those that are along the autism spectrum disorder spectrum. You know what I'm saying, right? Well, what about in adults? Well, attachment in childhood can change over time based upon experiences and personal growth, but it can also stay the same, particularly if an unaddressed or neglected. If they continue to experience that and they continue to feel, unattached to others, disconnected from others. Now, we know that individuals with BPD are at a heightened probability to have attachment issues and fall into either preoccupied, avoidant, or dismissing attachment styles. This is one reason why treatment takes so long and is often a push and pull type relationship between the client and therapist. For example, getting close with your therapist, feeling fear of rejection or abandonment, pulling back but wanting to be close. So you distance yourself, then you get agitated because you're distant, then want to be close, but you're still afraid. So it's that push-pull, it's that back and forth of uncertainty, abandonment, rejection, trying to contend with those issues. And as therapy goes along, you develop this sense of attachment. We have to develop this sense of attachment. It is so, so important. And attachment is really scary for those with BPD, and understandably so. The individual with BPD hopefully has a relationship with a therapist that is consistent, caring, and has their best interest in mind. Now, it can be hard to have this and see it clearly when aspects of reactive attachment disorder are present. For those with reactive attachment disorder and or borderline personality disorder, treatment challenges typically arise when they're unlearning those maladaptive patterns that were developed to manage disorder symptoms like reactive attachment disorder. The maladaptive patterns can include missing sessions, becoming easily frightened, and an intense fear of rejection or abandonment by your therapist. So we want to be alert when these issues arise. It's important to discuss them with your therapist or anyone else in your life with whom they may arise. Keeping them hidden only allows them to fester and strengthen those maladaptive BPD patterns, right, that you're trying to manage and lessen. Now, you can change your attachment pattern, and therapy is an ideal relationship in which to do it. You totally can. I want to encourage you to be open and honest about your feelings and thoughts with your therapist about these issues. And I know that it's hard, and I understand that it's scary. A lot of people will write me and ask me, should I tell my therapist A, B, and C? I'm worried about X, Y, and Z. And I think that it's important to discuss all of your feelings, put them all out on the table. And that's what strengthens the therapeutic relationship. That's what helps for you to feel safe with your therapist within that therapeutic environment. Because if that safety isn't there, it's really hard to contend with that core content of BPD, which the classic symptoms, right, or the classic core content is abandonment, emptiness, loneliness, rejection fears, things of that nature. And you have to get to that. And reactive attachment disorder can get in the way of that. It can put a blockade to getting to that core content, so then you can have a better handle on it to create a greater sense of change in your life. And it's so important, and exploring them and shining a light on those attachment fears will help you grow and develop a more secure attachment style, and you absolutely can. Please leave comments about how you attach to your therapist and others and how you manage it better. What have you learned? What strategies have you learned? The one thing that's great, I think, about this channel is that people do leave positive suggestions, positive input, positive suggestions on things that worked for them. It is often encouraging. That is the type of environment I'm trying to create, because that is the type of environment that individuals with BPD need in order to grow, develop, and challenge and change those maladaptive patterns, because empowerment is growth, and that growth can help you do your life different. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe, and please take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.